There's no longer white-collar jobs. They are nowhere to be found. The population is increasing on a daily basis, and the government cannot provide all the needed jobs for the bulging youths.
It's the doctor that the patient has to get a prescription for. The reason is that when the patient comes, the patient gets a card and is directed to see the physician.
Not that I mean to undermine polytechnics, they do a good job, but university education is actually more valuable.
Hello viewers, I am delighted to welcome you to this week's edition of Crossfire, reaching you from the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria Television, ACNNTV. I am Olusegun Akinola. Remember, Crossfire is a program that treats controversial topics on diverse issues surrounding our society. And our focus this week is on politics and leadership. Earlier this year, there was a popular hashtag that made waves in Nigeria, that is the not too young to rule, which was later modified to not too young to perform, where we saw lots of young people vying for the office of presidency. This goes to show that the younger generation are gradually coming to seek and to be heard seriously. So we shall be discussing, are youths ready to lead? With me in the studio to discuss this crucial topic are Mr. Oduche Obina, who is a political and social analyst. He will be opposing that same motion, whether youths are ready to lead. And we also have Mr. Samuel Opara, who will be supporting the motion that youths are ready to lead. We thank you for joining us. Let's get right into our discussion today. Mr. Obina, let me start with you. Why do you think youths do not have what it takes to lead Nigeria? Because right now, if you think back, we've had several leaders who led Nigeria at a very young age. Examples of Gowon when he was 31 years old, Murtala Mohammed when he was 37 years old, and even Obasanjo himself when he was 39 years old. So why do you think situations should be different now?
Thank you very much. From your analysis and where you inferred your support, Obasanjo, Gowon and co. at their early 30s and late 20s, they were in the helm of affairs in Nigeria as leaders. If this back, if you judge from that time, before you graduate from school, you must have been 40, 35. You don't go to school early then. But this time around, you can see a 15 or 16 years old guy is already a graduate. Yes. It goes a long way to tell you that there's more achievement in this generation earlier than that time. So if they were able to get to that level at that age then, I don't see why youths now cannot start being at the helm of affairs earlier than that. Okay. But you see what's going on now. You can see that the people have been hearing their names when I was a boy, when I was in primary school. I'm still hearing their names. They are still telling us that youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But the youths then are now old, and the other youths are coming up. So it goes a long way to tell us that, to make us conclude that youths are not yet ready. Because when you look at the indices in the voting strength, find out that youths they have about 60% of the voting strength of Nigeria in the voters register. Okay. But at the end of the day, they end up being thugs. They end up allowing themselves to be used by the elderly ones to rig election. Okay. What does that one tell you? It tells you that because they are not ready to rule, they are not ready to lead.
Wouldn't you say is the environment of Nigeria that doesn't actually allow for these youths to actually aspire for something better?
It's not the environment. Their environment is well enabled for them. Okay. Because the youth, they go to school early now, they achieve early now. So I don't see why they will not stand on that achievement and go higher. Okay. They achieve early. So why would they allow themselves to be used as thugs? Why wouldn't they sit down and decide that we are going to take over? And when they vote for themselves, they will take over. if they did not allow themselves to be used by thugs, by the elderly ones, the elderly ones cannot perpetuate themselves in power.
Okay.
But because of the fact that their mindset is still telling them they are still boys, they are still children, that they cannot get there.
Okay.
That's why they are still at that level.
Let me get back to you, sir. Mr. Samuel, still on that same understanding that younger ones were leading in the past, and Mr. Obina just said, well, they graduate, when people graduate now, they graduate at a younger age. So don't you think that age and inexperience will actually work against youths being leaders now?
Okay, thank you. Before I answer that question, let me actually respond to something he said. He said that a quite majority of the youths were used as thugs.
Yes.
And I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because people who were used as thugs, they are minority few.
Okay.
Compared to the population of Nigeria who are youths and who are eligible to vote.
Yes.
You see, it's a time where votes don't count. A lot of young people came out to vote. But it's obvious that votes don't count. So we are dissatisfied with the system because our youths came out to vote, even to support their fellow youths who came out, people like Durotoye, people like Garba from the north. But these people's vote didn't count. Now, coming to that, is the experience and age wouldn't play a role here, because if the people we mentioned before now, they were young when they led. They were very young. What experience did they have? In fact, they inherited from the whites, whom they had never had the opportunity to be in any position of leadership. But they just, went there. Now, I would say that wisdom is no longer measured by age. Okay. It's measured by what you pass through, what you have experienced, what you have seen in life as a result of what you have passed through. Now, our youth have shown several, capacities of leadership from university. They organize campus elections, and it goes very freely. In fact, it's on record now that there's a university in the East that conducted election via electronic. Okay. And it was very free and fair. So this shows that youths are ready. Even in the British Parliament, we have about 15 to 17 Nigerian youths who are in the Parliament. Okay. So if they were given opportunity over there to lead, why wouldn't you give them opportunity here in Nigeria to lead? Okay. Thank you.
It's still on you, Mr. Samuel. Now, with the rate of unemployment, the corruption, the deficiency even in our educational sector, how do you see the youths really being able to lead? I mean, the environment in Nigeria, is it actually conducive? Does it help Nigerians to aspire for such offices?
I wouldn't say that the environment is wonderful for. That is the reason why we want to be there. Okay. Because we are dissatisfied with the environment. We're not comfortable. We travel abroad, we see what's happening over there, and we're not comfortable that we are not growing. So our fathers have failed us. They have not been able to put things in place, and we want to tell them that we want to take over. We want to take over and make things work. Yes. So poverty or whatever it is will not. If that's what we're coming to combat, that's what we're coming to fight. Okay. So we're not afraid of those things, because over the years, these people we are talking about, these elderly ones, have used poverty, have used bad environment to suppress the passion, the desires of our youth. So we have recognized this and we want to fight it. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Obina, from what you say now, the youths are getting tired. They see this frustration all around. Their fathers are failing them. Do you have any response to that?
They are not yet tired.
They are not yet tired, okay.
Yes. Because if they are tired, they would have taken over. You don't wait for them to give you power. You don't wait for the other.
Take it by force?
You take it by force. Okay. And how do you take it by force? You take it through the normal means of voting. When you decide that you will not vote for anybody that is above 45 to be the president of Nigeria. There are many parties now. There are a lot of opportunities now. It's not narrowed any longer. We have about 91 political parties. Out of the 91 political parties, the ones that fielded the youths that fall within the age that you want, you scrutinize them and know the one that you will vote for. Then when all of them comes out, the 60% of youths that form the voting population of Nigeria comes out and vote for that youth, definitely that person will win. And let me correct my friend here that says that said that youths did not, the little number of youths are just the thugs, but they are youths. Mind you that one man with one AK-47 can pull a village. You understand? So when you find out that during election, the thugs comes out and disperse the voters, carry ballot boxes, do a lot of things, manipulate the elections. What does it tell you? What it tells you is that it has gone down the drain. And who did it? It's the youths. If, for example, that they are called to come and do this thing and they refuse, the elderly ones will go inside.
But you know, he also said that it doesn't seem like our votes are even being counted.
Yeah.
I mean, even if the youth come out and all of these things happen, but eventually votes still don't count.
Who are the people that make the votes not to count? Is it not the youths?
Is it the youth or is it the fathers that are
it's the youth. The fathers are elderly. They can't
they use their money, they use their power.
Yeah, they use money,
yes.
They use influence, they use power. Then who do they influence? They influence the youth to use their power to go and work for them.
Okay.
You understand? The votes will count if the youths want the votes to count.
Yes.
Let me just give you a scenario. When Rochas Okorocha contested first tenure in Imo State for governorship, it was the youths that made it possible for him to win. They voted, they stayed, they followed their vote, they made sure the vote was counted, and at the end of the day, he won the election. Okay. So you can see the power of the youths. The strength lies within them. Everything lies within them. And if you look around the world now, you know that the youths are ruling the world.
Yes.
They have the ideas, they have the touch that is ruling the world now. The world is not being ruled today by strength. It is ruled today by the knowledge. Okay. And you can see that youths are making waves all over the world. Why is Nigeria has been a different one?
That is what we are here to discuss.
You understand?
Yes.
It's different because we are not the youths are not yet ready. They still see themselves as boys that are small boys that are still eating in their father's house. And by the time they know it, they are old and they have not given anything to their generation. So they are not yet ready. And another thing is that before the youths will think of taking over the helms of leadership in this country, they will reposition their mind. Okay. Their mindset is already bad. Yeah. What the youths want now is where to make money. Where to make money in millions, in billions.
Mr. Samuel, I don't know if you agree with that. Youths are just out there.
I have a problem. I have a serious problem because he has been saying all these things and people will think that's the truth. Yeah. We have been in Nigeria, we've been following politics in Nigeria. The people you mentioned have been in power till now. What does it tell you? That if a man doesn't believe that at the age of 40 his child is mature enough to get married, what does it mean? He didn't train his child. He doesn't believe in what he has planted in the child. Okay. So who has failed? It's not the father. So it is obvious that our leaders who have been leading us have failed. If he's supporting his motion with the fact that we have been so naive and the whole thing, that means the parents have failed because they have not been able to produce a system that will replace them when they are gone. But we are ready.
Okay. Yes, sir. So we thank you very much. As he says, we are ready. So I hope that the youths will take cue from this. We shall go on a short break and be right back.
Why do we fall ill? Is it possible to stay without falling ill? Is God interested in our health? Can we get access to cheaper health anywhere? Do you want tips on how to stay healthy? Then join me, Angela Weze, on Health Watch every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. with repeat broadcasts on Thursday at 2 p.m. and Saturday at 1:30 p.m. as health experts provide answers to your questions on how to remain healthy physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually here on Anglican Cable Network Nigeria. God bless you.
Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for still being here with us. It's still the same program, Crossfire. We've been discussing, are the youths ready to lead? Still with me, Mr. Samuel Opara and Mr. Oduche Obina. We've been talking about, are the youths really ready to lead in Nigeria? In the past presidential election, we had several young people who were vying for the office of presidency. And even right now, in the House of Senate, in the House of Reps, we have quite a number of young people. So it seems that youths are rising gradually. Let me come to you, Mr. Samuel. It says, if the youths are actually given this opportunity to lead, don't you think they will abuse the office? I mean, if the older ones are not so-called competent, are not doing the good work, why do you think the youths will actually do something better?
Okay, you see, definitely, nobody is perfect. If we are given opportunity, I know we will do better.
Okay.
Our fathers has failed. We know that.
Okay.
If we are given opportunity, there's nothing like abuse. By the way, our fathers have abused the opportunity. So if we are young and we have a little issue, we don't assume it's an abuse. Because I know what they use to accuse us is exuberance.
Yes.
That they are too exuberant, they use money, they do anyhow. But that is not going to happen. Because we have, when Dorothea came out, Dorothea is quite young. Garba, that connected from the north, he has headed a global organization. And his organization is pulling waves, is making waves. And if you follow him, if you've been following him, discover that this guy is good. I think I read about him, and I saw that if you had given that guy an opportunity, he was coming with innovative technology.
Wow.
He was coming with an innovative technology that would have helped to cope a lot of things in security and a lot of things in Nigeria.
Okay.
But because he has not been given an opportunity, his ideas are dying with him, as they are with him, while he goes on with his company. Okay, citing an example, I know that Peter Obi, when he was the governor of Anambra, he was not quite an old man.
Yeah.
He's still within this, proximity of his new age, of a young president. And you can see what he did in Anambra State.
Okay.
There's no record of any governor in Nigeria that has beat his record by the money he left in their treasury and everything he has done in the country, in the state, sorry. Okay. So I don't know. If you ask them, they will cite somewhere like Bello who has, it's just a minority few. I wouldn't want you to major on that person to derogate the fact that we are ready to lead. So the youths are ready, and we cannot, underestimate the fact that we are very, very ready to lead.
Okay. I know Mr. Obin is ready, getting ready for it.
Let's be factual. As a person, I am still within the age bracket of youth.
Okay.
The World United Nations age bracket is between the age of 18 to 45 years.
Okay.
That is what they take as a youthful age. You see, let's just analyze one or two youths that have found themselves in that position to lead. Let's consider the slapping senator. He's one of the youngest senators. You can see that being a senator entered his head.
Okay.
He was able to slap people in public and exhibit certain characters in public. Let's consider Bello, who is from Kogi State, the governor of Kogi State. You can see when he won as the governor of Kogi State, everybody was very happy. At least a young man within the age of below 45 is going to be a governor. We were expecting much from him. But at the end of the day, he did nothing in Kogi State. And these are few. Now, these few that found themselves at the helm of affairs could not impact positively, that will now draw for more youths to be given chances. That one apart. You see, you don't just wait for somebody to give you power. You have to be prepared and take power. I contested election. Let me finish. I contested election, and I met youths like me, and I talked to them. Do you know their response? That I have to pay. How much have I got to give them? The youths, the mindset of our youth is that the highest bidder will be supported. They don't care whether that person is a youth or an old man. So at the end of the day, they will be crying at the back. But you help the elderly ones to be in power. So if we, first of all, the youth in Nigeria should reposition their mindset and believe that they can do it. That is the first. They have got all the resources they needed. They have got the education. They have got everything so early, quite early. And they have got the knowledge. And they've got the wisdom. So, but the problem is that they have not seen themselves being capable of leading in Nigeria.
Who gives them the room or the capability to actually lead?
Is it when you mention the slapping senator, it's as if it's a scenario. Since the last time he slapped, has he been on record again that he slapped another person? We have a dancing senator. How old is he? Is he a youth as well? So wouldn't you say that the money he's making from the Senate House is controlling him? Is it not possible that this young man is sick? He can't use it to judge the whole youth that they are not capable to because he slapped somebody. What of other mess up that our other senators have put Nigeria? So we can't use that minority few to just justify the whole fact that we're not ready to lead.
I challenge the youths. 2023 is around the corner. it is possible that youths can take over 60% of the National Assembly, 60% of the State Assembly, and 60% of the governorship positions in Nigeria.
Let me comment. You see, this thing, you are talking as if you're not in Nigeria. You contested for the election. You know what happened?
Yes.
Who owns the power? This is where we're coming from. Who has the power?
Okay.
Now, the presidency will use the army, will use the police, will use the Air Force, will use the Navy to make sure these people are craving for power. They want to retain this. They use everything they have to retain it. They use their resources, they use their money, they bring machineries. We have been talking about electronic voting. What does it take for Nigeria to bring about electronic, where everybody's vote will count? Where people will not be intimidated to vote.
Do you know why they can use their power, use police, use army, and be able to neutralize the youths? They're in office already. Be able to neutralize the youths and still bulldoze themselves into power. It's because the youths are not ready to lead.
Okay, wait. Let me just cue into that now. Now, just as we said earlier, in Nigeria we seem to have a circle of leadership. You know, they are governor today, they are senator tomorrow, they are this tomorrow, they are commissioner, and you just remain like that, a circle. Don't you think we have come of age that we should actually see new faces, fresh people with innovations who will actually pump in new ideas? He has mentioned a few people who are doing great things in their own place, in the north, in the south, everywhere. Don't you think it's actually time that we actually start making these changes?
Yeah, it's time, really. But the problem we have in this part of the world is that we don't have youths that are ready to do that. It happened in France because France, their youths are ready. That is why Macron is the president of France today. You can remember that Macron was still a toddler when the president of Cameroon became the president of Cameroon. Yes. And now Macron is the president because their youths are ready. But in Nigeria today, the youths are not seeing themselves that it's time for them to take over. Because their mindset is just is at the background. And do you know one opportunity they've got now is that we have 91 political parties. It's no longer before you have 2 political parties that the political parties will use money, the nomination fee to throw the youths away, use all kind of internal party decisions to throw youths out. They have other parties. The simple thing does not matter the party. What matters is the person. And what matters is that the youths are ready to field a candidate that will be in line with them. And I want to ask you, my brother, do you think that as a youth, you will smell being a commissioner or a minister or any appointments in Nigeria when the person that is leading Nigeria is an elderly person? You will look for his mates. You understand? You don't cry that you don't have this percentage, you don't have this percentage. When you have the chance to be the president.
You see, he has come to that point. Yes. I have been waiting for you to come to this point. This is to show you that the kind of country where we find ourselves is a country where the fathers have no generational mindset. These people have lost their generational mindset where you work for the next generation to take over from you. Yes. Their mindset is to finish it and let's finish it and let it cripple, let it die. Once we are gone, let nothing other exist.
No legacy.
This is wrong. France, you just mentioned, what is the system of voting? You're talking about France. France is an electronic system where wherever you can cast your vote. People who voted in UK, some of them were in Nigeria, you just log into your account, your profile, you cast your vote. We are clamoring, we are talking, we are soliciting for a country where everybody's vote can count. The youth can form a political party, quite all right. But they have the force to engineer whatever they are looking. See, you can have an idea, but without money, the idea is dead. So the youth are talking about, are they the ones in charge of the resources of Nigeria? When people who senators we have, how much do they earn just for sitting down and discussing about cow and the Fulani and the rest of the thing?
You said something before that the youth have to take it by force. How
so that means his own readiness. If I got what he said, means violence. So if the government is coming with a force from the army, from the police, is expecting the youth to resist it by force. So that means at the end of the whole election, we are coming out with the result of violence.
And there was a person, Showore, who started the revolution now, and where is he?
You see, it's a simple thing. If the youths are ready, they will take it by force. Bring army. bring army, bring army, bring police, bring every force you've got, and the youths of a particular village. You know, polling booths are in different villages.
Yes.
And the youth of a particular village says no, that this will not stand, that this vote will count. I will tell you, the army, the police cannot kill them.
Okay.
Because when they stand up and say, count the votes and declare the result, it will happen.
Won't the army see that as resistance? And maybe
This is the truth. This is the truth.
Do you know why they succeed? You know why they succeed? First of all, the powers that be will first of all coerce the youths by giving them money, giving them weapons.
So they should say no to that.
You understand? They should say no to that. Do you know what happened in Kogi? The police are there, the armies are there. Why the thugs are coming and taking the ballot boxes? They look away. You see, it will be difficult for policemen to come and shoot somebody that is voting or that is insisting that his vote will count. It will be difficult for an army to shoot somebody that is insisting that his vote will count. But it will be easier for a thug to come and kill. The security agency will just look away. But when the youth said, no, we cannot be thugs any longer. In our place, things must be done right. Today, this vote will be done properly. Today, this vote will count. It will stop. Another thing is that the elderly ones have succeeded in dividing the youths with religion. And the youths have assimilated that. When we've got youths that have studied all over the world, and when they come back, they still go back to that you are a Christian, you are a Muslim. Because of that, I will not support a Christian. Because of that, I will not support a Muslim.
Honorable, you see, it's a general issue.
I'm coming.
You are using facts that are general issue to judge the youth. Because even the elders are divided by religion. What I was expecting you to yes, I want you to understand that.
Who will unify the country?
I made a statement before. I said that, you see, if you have a dream and you have no resources to push your dream, they are dead. They will die with you. The youths we have ideas. We have innovations. The Rotary was in the party. How much was in his treasury to push his political campaigns?
He doesn't need money to push his political campaign.
How would you say that? How would you say that?
The generation we are now, we are no longer analog generation. The elderly ones believe in printing posters and believe in paying people to go and paste the posters. As people are removing it, they are pasting another one because they have the money. But as a young person, as a youth now, who is being driven by technology, that is ICT, that is growing now. You don't need to print posters. Every youth do have a smartphone. 90% of youths, they parade themselves with smartphones. You don't need that. What you need is to do your poster and send it electronically. It will go round.
I have an issue.
I'm coming. It will go round. Do your manifesto, send it electronically. It will go round. The people that will be reading it and be seeing it are youths. By so doing, you will capture them. The Twitter, the Instagram, that is going on today is the youths that are there. So it is an avenue for you to get the youth. You don't need money. Another thing is that the elderly ones have made it in such a way that you must go for campaign physically and share money. The youth will separate themselves from there and take their own initiative, because the world today is different from the world yesterday. But because of the fact that the youths are not ready, they are interested in the money the elderly ones are giving them. They are interested in carrying the gun for them. They are interested in being their bodyguards. That is why they have lost their place. To do a campaign as a youth, you don't need to spend kobo. What you just need is a smartphone, a laptop. That is what you need.
Is that in this same Nigeria?
In this same Nigeria.
You see, it's better you just said it now. You see, I have a problem with him whenever he says this kind of thing. Let's talk about the North. Let's talk about the North. How many of the northern youths are exposed to this technology? I have been in the North for about 10 years right now. And I know that people are being persuaded. In fact, these people, their leaders have, in a way, suppressed their ambitions for going to school. They're not exposed to civilization. And how do you expect these people to be conversant with the use of this? So this is where I have a problem. A quite majority of the leaders in their different regions have suppressed the passions of the youth by their own selfish interest, so that they will not aspire higher. And this is a failure on in their own part, because they are fathers. They're expecting the people that will take over from them. So you see, it's like a process. They will just alienate the young ones who are not from their lineage. So it's like a selfish thing. It's like a monarchical system. You just finish, you look for your brother who is coming up again, you just put them. They are not interested in the national growth. So I think these people have used They have used their resources to suppress from beginning. So if you don't belong to a particular party, you don't carry bags for them, they will never ever support your ambitions. Why will you be in a generation whereby our fathers will expect us to struggle on our own to come a position? That's the failure on the father's part. Because a father will be happy to support his child to come to a position. That's where I'm coming from.
So wait, we have to actually conclude now. We'll definitely invite you for another session of this because he has made a very valid point. Our fathers need to leave a legacy, but you also said the youth need to take it by force. Yeah. Well, thank you both for helping us out with this crucial topic. In 2015, there was an article that talked about Africa is a young continent, but yet the leaders are so old. So we are hoping that as time goes by, we'll see more young leaders taking over. Well, dear viewers, you've heard it loud and clear. The youths are not too young to run for office, and definitely they are not too young to perform. We have seen many who have done it all over the world. Nigeria shouldn't be an exception. However, I think we need to create the enabling environment for innovations and creativity, because Nigeria is a land filled with vast opportunities for everyone, both young and old, to contribute their quotas. It is only together we can make Nigeria great. We appreciate our brothers who have assisted us in discussing and shedding light on this topic. We also thank you, our viewers, for joining us and watching today's edition of Crossfire. Until next time, God bless